Pokemans.
Pokemans. Welcome to
Not
Echo
a
Chamber, the session in between sessions. Not Pokemane, but Pokemans. Is that what you're about to
no,
say?
no, not a sponsor yet.
No, not Niantic, not a sponsor
Niantic.
yet. Welcome to Echo Chamber. Jumping in here, I don't even know how to recap this one. We decided we were going to take on a lair, a potential blue dragon's lair, and then decided instead, for once in probably, 3 years, we decided to have a conversation.
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I give Ryan credit, and I know this is a little out of order, but I'm going to call play of the game from here goes to Ryan slash Reed
We're,
for having a conversation.
we're saying all because he said Bellathar, I think is its name. Bellathar's a bitch. That's how it started.
Belathar's a bitch. It was in honor of Nikola Tesla. I'll
Hmm.
give you credit for that. But at the same time, it creates a little bit of a lull in the dynamic of the group, which in my opinion, interrogation does, as well as single player RP type deal. It does. The other players are at that point watching instead of
Hmm.
participating, and so for me, it's not a big deal. But I could watch some of the faces on cameras. It lost
Hmm.
them a little bit. Did you notice that?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it doesn't always, don't get me wrong, but for sometimes, including this time, like it was just, I don't know if whether it's length of attention or topic of attention or where it's at, but this is one
Probably a
of
little
those
bit of both.
cases. Yeah,
Yeah, probably a
maybe a
little
little
bit of
both.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you get that a lot in other groups? Because I'm curious, like, if it's maybe just, person specific.
No, I think it has to do with the online aspect versus playing at a table.
Hmm, that's interesting.
Maybe. I mean, because I haven't really noticed that much at a table, and I think, uh, I don't know. That's hard to. I don't know. I have to think about it, I guess,
Yeah,
or
because
pay attention.
it isn't something you'd pay attention to, and I'm sure with a smaller group, more people can chime in, and it's
Yeah.
probably a little different dynamic as well. But being how we have 8 people, and even with some lore drop and some calling somebody a bitch, like it's still for some reason I could see how it could lose attention span.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so. But I'm gonna go back and say, Ryan, if you decide to watch this, you get play of the game because it was awesome. I'm glad you had a conversation. I wish you were here tonight to tell us what was going through your mind as you decided
Well,
to say, "Whoa, guys, he's a bitch."
I was right before he said that. I was like, I was about to suggest maybe somebody that had a little bit of a silver tongue to to antagonize said creature.
Well, so hear me.
But and Ryan went ahead and did it, and I was like, yes, awesome.
Right, and which I think is awesome because, if you think back previously, I think here's where our Achilles heel is, and Evan, this is no offense to you, but Evan usually takes the lead, and his character has one, way to try and entice is to intimidate, and
Hmm.
he tried his damnedest to fuck
Yeah,
shit
you did.
up, rolling threes and stuff. And at that point, I think he kind of realized, okay, you got this, Reed. I'm gonna back off.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, but I think that's our Achilles heel of why we haven't gone that route. Because the last couple sessions, we've talked about interrogation being
Hmm.
lackluster. We've talked about not being able to talk to people and gain lore. And I think last week we even talked about like I felt like it was meta, and Garrett gave me his reason why it wouldn't be because we're a pretty tight knit group, and we would have seen that about each other, which I think
Hmm.
after thinking about it, I think that's true. So it was great to see someone else step up and say, Evan, take a back seat. I got this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah,
think that
definitely.
that's kind of what we were talking about with the interrogation. There's a couple more tricks in the bag. You have your place. Like it's like, in the kitchen. Do you want to use the
Hmm.
garlic press or do you want to smash the garlic? And
Right,
Griswold
right,
is the hammer that smashes the garlic, whereas someone else might be fine dicing or whatever.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's a that's a great analogy.
it was a little weak. It was a little weak, but you
No,
got the point.
no. Evan is a hammer.
He is like, and
Uh-huh.
and I mean, character and Evan, Griswold and Evan, they're hammers. They are the demo squad. That's the way I look at it. Amrook is very similar. I might, non-character related, I might throw a couple tidbits out there, but I am more hammer than I am finesse,
Hmm.
and I will
Hmm.
fully admit that. If you want finesse, grab the fillet knife, and that's what our bard and somewhat, as proven this past session, our rogue is.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So they are the fillet knife, and we just come in there with the samurai sword. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
I think Adrian, I like that you don't jump in because character-wise, it doesn't make sense. But I think
yeah,
you could. I think, you know, Eric has that ability because of knowledge and stuff. But you
yeah,
do
yeah,
you have to like control that, and I give you props for that. I think we've talked
yeah,
about
yeah.
that before. I struggled with that early on, but um,
Plus, plus, you guys are all new to this. I want to see how, like, I'm almost kind of like semi DM because I want to see how you guys react
it's
to
like a
certain
spectator
things.
sport for you.
Yeah, exactly,
You get
exactly.
to watch this tennis match go on and then be like,
Hmm.
well, you guys
Hmm.
fucked that one up. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so if we go back in the session, we started back in town. We did a little RP in town as well. We'll get to the stats before the end. And we bounced around a little RP. I want to know your thoughts on Emmerich slipping away and commissioning, taking the dragon scales from the party without talking to them and commissioning the armor.
I think that's awesome. I thought it was awesome. Uh, I, I don't know if Adrian probably would have noticed that you were. No, you did it in the middle of the night, so he probably didn't even know you were gone.
I did it midday actually because we had just finished up the battle and I was like, I want to slip out because that's why the
Oh yeah,
blacksmith shop and stuff was
that's right.
open.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, no, nobody noticed. I mean, Adrin's
Yeah,
passive perception, you would think, but there's a lot going on. That's kind of why I
yeah.
chose that time. But I was just curious if Adrin did notice, or if someone pointed out to Adrin, how would he feel?
Indifferent, probably. Yeah, probably indifferent. He doesn't. Uh, uh, um, that is one of his characteristics. Is uh, worldly items does not concern him. So
All right. Second question, follow up question: would Adrin wear dragon scale armor?
as a monk, no.
All right.
As a druid,
That's true. I didn't think about that. As a
as a
druid, because it's
maybe,
non-metal,
yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, 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 definitely. If it's not heavy, if it's medium, but
Right.
yeah, it's considered considered leather or
Hide.
leather property. Yeah, hide.
Yeah. Yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, he would wear it. Yeah,
All right. How do you
definitely.
think Harshnag would feel about a fighter wearing dragon scale armor?
Probably
He'd think it was
probably
cool,
with
right?
yeah, I would think it was with respect almost as warrior respect.
That's
Uh,
what I was thinking
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
yeah. All right. Yeah.
yeah.
I wasn't sure. So that goes into the part of the reason why I snuck off with it was just because I didn't wasn't sure about that Harshnag dynamic.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I don't think. I think he's fine with that.
I would think he would think it was cool, but I just
Yeah,
didn't want to get too in depth with it. And then like I said, that's part of the reason. And then, um, but I was just curious thoughts on it. Then as we started moving on, there was a couple things here and there. I don't think anything really happened over Watch. And then we got in, and these kobolds slash help me out. I forget what they were called.
The Blitz bolts,
Blitz
the shambling
bolts.
mounds,
Yeah, the
the
blitz
shambling
bolt
mounds.
and the
Yeah,
shambling mounds. So those shambling mounds have a crap ton of HP.
yeah, they do. Yeah,
I felt
yeah,
like it took us longer to take them out with our turn economy. But then again, that's tough because Garrett had the turn economy this time. So
yeah, he did.
it was a
Yeah.
little different way, a little different battle than we've
Hmm.
been used to.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I think we did well.
Oh, I didn't. I think so too. Yeah. I mean, I started to get a little worried because we started to kind of split up a little bit, divide up a little bit, but I
We
think it worked out okay.
Yeah, I think we like so if you didn't watch the previous session, we got into battle in one session, then we took a break. We had the echo chamber last week, and then we got back into battle mid battle this past session. And that coming back in for some reason was allowed us to regroup a lot better, and we
Mm.
were like focused again. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
And that fireball,
and yeah, it helped a bit. Helped a bit. It weakened a good portion of them. And I know Garrett rolled for crap for the recharge rate on those blitz bolts. I don't. They're they're a I think a Garrett special or something he maybe found on the web.
right?
Um,
A
but
little
I'm
bit of
guessing they
homebrew.
probably had a little homebrew. I'm guessing they had a recharge of either 5 or 6 to use that electric bolt. So, and I know he kept. There's at one point he was like, "Oh, jeez." I'm like, "Ah, you're not rerolling the recharge rates, are you?" He's like, "No."
Yeah, I didn't realize that dynamic of it, like
Mhm.
when you fight a dragon, that you have to roll that recharge.
Yeah, yeah. Whether or not the breath weapon comes back, and there's a
Exactly.
couple. There's a bunch of. I like how they did that. Uh, in older editions, it was based on turns. Um, other times it was like roll d4 and it returns back in 4 rounds, or returns in two
Returns is
rounds.
back.
I like
Yeah.
I like the recharge rate of 5, 6, or 6 or whatever. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it adds a little bit more randomness to it as well. I think
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah.
But that's true. So I mean that coming back together with that fireball and then some poor rolls on recharge, we just completely turned the tide and we were just knocking them out one by one at that point. So it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Another thing I thought was interesting was Warwick casting greater invisibility on
I,
Reed and giving
I
him
was
sneak attack damage.
well, not only that, Reed was hurting. I was going to suggest that was play of the game actually,
You know what?
because Reed
I'll
was.
open it up for debate if you can convince me otherwise. I just think for me, I'm gonna throw it out there. The reason I put the communication as play of the game is because it's
Mhm.
something that we don't do.
Yeah, no, I can go either way. I can go either way
All
on
right,
that.
I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it.
Okay. Okay.
That way, as we come back and look at this in 5 years when we're famous, we're gonna be like,
Mm.
remember that time?
When we're making cartoons of our old games,
Oh man,
that'd be
five
awesome, huh?
years, 5 years. We'll see.
5 years. 5 years. Um, no, I know Ryan was Reed was pretty low in HP, and that thing was going to go after him because he was prone.
I wasn't
He would have died.
sure if that would hurt him because then you can't see him to heal him, right? The only thing you could do at that point is throw out greater or throw out healing spirit and let him run
Hmm.
through it because you can't heal
Yeah.
him at that point.
Right. Right.
So I wasn't sure if that was going to come into effect. That oh crap, I'm invisible, nobody can heal me.
Yeah. Exactly. No, that is a thing.
Yeah, so it's a
That is
niche
a thing.
thing, but I think it was pretty cool how it was used. There
Yeah.
was one more thing that I gave an A plus kudos for creativity. I can't remember what it is right now, but somebody did something that was creative, and I'm like, hey, I'd allow it just for the creativity, just for the story of it. You remember what
You
that
know, I
was?
remember. I remember Keegan asking something that was interesting, but I can't remember what it was now. But yeah, I think you're right.
I might have to go back because I
Yeah.
enjoy that creativity aspect of, I think from the beginning I've said I like the improv aspect. I'm not the
Hmm.
greatest at improv, but
Hmm.
when something improv, however you say that word,
Uh-huh.
when something happens spontaneously like that, that is so creative, it
Yeah.
blows my mind and like it really draws me in.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It's like the whole delicious dust on the cupcake. Like it just,
Yeah. Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know, like I
Yeah.
just that's what like I'm like oh, and I just told you about the past episode of CR and same thing. I'm like
Yeah. I haven't seen it, so.
crazy stuff. That's probably my most enjoyable. Some people like killing stuff. Some people like magic items. Some people really like the RP. I like. I may not be the greatest at improv, but the improv is what really pulls me in for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't tell you why.
Yeah. No, I'm there with you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not even just improv of RP. So
It,
go ahead.
it's being creative. Just how creative can you get
Yeah.
within the rules of the game? You know.
Within the fact of what makes sense. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because you got this magic item and how you use it is so
Hmm.
interesting to me because there's so many
Hmm.
different possibilities and the creative person's going to think of that possibility that you didn't think of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. All right. Do you think we are going to go down and fight? So Ryan was trying to tally. We have four naysayers. Reed doesn't really care either way. What do you think we
I
should
think
do, and what do you think we are going to do?
I think we should. I'll put it this way: we should get the magic item, however means possible it is to get that magic item. Do I think we're going to go down and fight? Yeah, I think we're going to go down and fight.
All right, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Why would we go down and get this magic item when it's perfectly protected? We left. Hear me out. We left the piece of the Vanadod with a dragon up north with Nullbone in hopes that he would protect it. So why wouldn't we also allow this creature to protect it?
That might have been out of necessity though, because there's no way we can move a piece that big. And
But we could have
yeah,
called the Lord's Alliance,
yeah,
like we did for that other one. In Amrook's opinion, the reason that we did that with the Vanadod is because we don't trust the Lord's Alliance fully. So we didn't want to put all our eggs in one basket, right?
true, true.
In this case, there don't seem to be that many eggs.
But this item seems to be in the hands of something that could actually do something with it. Like the dragon can't do anything with the piece of the Vonadot.
True. Very good point.
This is kind of like given an extremist, uh, a nuke sort of thing.
Oh, he's just going to protect it. Yeah, all right, all right. I will give you that
Yeah.
point that and I will agree with you. I was playing a little devil's advocate. I think we
Hmm.
should as well, just for the sheer fact of we get it, and we can figure out how to protect it from there because I think ultimately we have us having control would be better than like you said this cultist.
Yeah, yeah. You know, Adrian's doing the same thing. He's waffling back and forth on, do we need to go down and get this? I mean, first off, he was a little skeptical on going in the cave after he started talking with the kobolds anyway. You know, he
Yeah.
started being a little skeptical then, and I mean he's back and forth right now. Like 1 minute he just wants to just jump down this hole and just get this thing because this item in their hands right now could be a bad thing.
So what do we do with the item once we get it then? Because I mean, this is going to be a question once we kill or get the item, however we can. Uh,
Hmm.
then it's going to be like, all right, we got it. What do we do with it now? It's like
Well,
a,
I think we all know. I think we all know who's gonna want that.
I mean, if he can use it.
Why wouldn't he? He should be able to use it.
I don't know that much about it. Like we, I mean, maybe you do, but
I mean, as a weapon, yeah. I mean, unless there's alignment restrictions or if it's a intelligent item or something like that. Yeah, right. He might not be able to use it.
I think, and this may be a little meta. I think it's a sentient item, and I think it
Could be.
has
Could be.
the guy that was never seen again. I think it's got him inside of it.
Uh, I will. I will say with uh knowing some background that's a tinfoil hat.
All right,
Yeah.
fair enough. But I think that would be pretty cool. Like you get it, and all of a sudden, like you get more lore from it because it is this guy. But all right.
Not to give anything away, you guys almost ran into him
Oh,
in
nice.
Chult.
In Cholt, yeah.
There, it was a random encounter, and I kind of have him played in there somewhere. I don't know where yet though. Uh, not to
Not to meta.
give too much away, but yeah.
All right. So if we get a hold of it and we give it to Grizz, all right. Let's say there's an alignment issue. Grizz can't take it. Who takes it then? Because Amruk can't because he's got the Giant Slayer, unless he gives him the Giant Slayer and takes this. But I don't know about that. We don't really have anybody else who could take it.
No, not really.
I mean, because it's Great Axe, right? Isn't that what it is?
I don't know if it was a great axe or just a regular axe. I think it was just. I thought it was a regular axe,
Mm. All right, I
but I
was
don't
thinking it
know.
was Great Axe. I guess if it's a regular hand axe, then maybe someone could take it
Maybe
as a throwing weapon.
it goes to Harshnag.
All right. Get Harshnag to protect it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that because Harshnag's going to seek out other giants to fight, right? And so if he
Hmm.
does and he falls, then
Hmm.
they could get this item. So that might be a little too close for comfort.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
I think it's comical that we're having this discussion now, and then on Sunday we'll have this discussion again with everybody
Yeah,
else.
everybody else exactly. Or you give
Harshipu.
Harshnag Harshipu Giant Slayer.
He kind of said it was like a puny, like it didn't fit his hands as well. So I don't know
Uh,
if he'd take it. I'd probably give it
yeah,
to Grizz and take this item if Grizz couldn't use this item. But
yeah, yeah.
I the same thing with Harshnag, right? We are going out and fighting other giants and stuff. We're
Hmm.
going out and we could die at any moment. TPK, and then this item that's being sought out could be found and used.
Yeah,
So like us being TPK'd and then coming in with a new party, crap! Now the Frost Giants are gonna come find this item.
yeah.
So that's where my mind's at. Of maybe we should leave it with this, but storyline I get as well. So
We're not gonna die
ever,
ever.
ever. All right, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I think at least so that we got stats chat here in a minute, but before we go into that, do you honestly believe none of us are gonna die?
It's funny as you get up higher level, uh, it's harder to permanently kill someone.
True, very true, but tell that to Nasana.
Yeah.
do we know if Nasana has anything to do with the Frost Giants? Is this deal?
That's we don't. I still don't know.
We don't. And is this deal
No,
that Reed made or that Warwick made going to come into play? Are they going to try and take the item, the axe,
maybe, maybe
for
not.
her? Or is she going to find out we have it and she uses the blood to track us down? There's a lot there. Garrett's
Yes.
got a lot of ways to adapt this to mess with us.
Yeah, I don't know what her ploy is. I don't know what her end game is. I don't know if she's the big bad or if she was just a pawn in the. Excuse me. Phew,
Bless you.
phew, sorry about that. Um, if she just happened to be, in a place at the right time, sort of thing. I still don't know her angle.
I kind of see her as a little bit more of a powerful glass staff. Because
Hmm.
he wasn't really a pawn. He had a couple
No.
pawns, uh,
Yeah, yeah,
but at the same time, that fit into a bigger picture.
yeah, yeah. And I don't know if she's like who's above her, sort of thing, or is she the top of her food chain? Her food chain.
Yeah, I feel like there's separate food
I don't
chains in the
know.
picture, and I feel like she's at
Yeah,
the
there
top,
is.
glass staff at the top, but I do feel that there are a couple other food chains out there.
Well, Glassstaff was working with the Drow, right?
Yeah, but we don't. So you think that's related?
Glassstaff and Drow were definitely related.
Yeah, okay. I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, they definitely were related. I don't know.
A lot going
I
on.
like
That's
it.
what I mean.
I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So it what kind of felt like side quests kind of are interesting how they like absorb into the main story as well.
They kind of fit in a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah, like Siddle's
yeah.
storyline. All of a sudden, now we're like, is this a big bad? Like, how does it fit in the
Uh,
story? What does she have to do with this? So yeah, no, it's kind of cool. All right,
Man, we need to get close. I need to get closer to Silvery Moon because I have Animal Messenger, and I need to get a message to Silvery Moon
how close do you need to be?
like 100 miles. If I cast it at like third level, and
All right,
like we're that's why you'll see like every so often in
on the
in
map.
on the map you'll see like a arrow go all the way over to like Silvery Moon to like about where we're at. I'll be like, damn it, still like too far away.
So you couldn't do that from the keep?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
it's too far away.
Huh. All right, so we gotta
Just
get
out of
closer than that.
yeah.
Yartar's not close enough.
Well, Yartar is, yeah,
Yartar is. All right. I
yeah,
think before long we'll be back in Yartar.
yeah.
I
I think
mean,
so too.
I say that but I know in my
Yeah,
mind that that's like 3 months from now.
yeah, I know, right?
Because I honestly thought that coming out of this the last intersection
Uh-huh.
with the giants going to the ship, in my mind that worked itself. We were gonna hit Candlekeep within like by this past session.
Oh yeah, me too. I thought we'd be like well on our way into whatever we were doing in Candlekeep by now, but we just keep getting
Shiny
shiny
things,
object over here, shiny object over here. What's over
for sure.
here? There's a cave over here. Oh, let's go to the cave.
But you know what? That's kind of beautiful as well because like
Yeah.
I go back to what Brennan Lee Mulligan was talking about. Like the player wants to get from point A to B. We want to get through the story as quick as possible.
Mhm.
It's the DM's job to give it that wavelength and make
Yeah.
it the story. And so
Yeah.
I mean I think it's awesome the way that works out. That's by far the best way that I've ever heard it described.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like how that was described.
for
Definitely.
sure. All right, you got anything else? If not, I think it's time
Do it.
for Stats check. Stats check.
Oh
All
man, I
right.
wish I had. I gotta learn to like go to my go turn the mute off on my Twitch channel when you do that, so just so I can hear it.
I'm gonna do it one more time. Turn off mute. Let's do it one more time.
All right, hold on. Unmute.
Three,
There we go.
2, It didn't do it. There's stats. Stats check.
Uh,
Yeah. All right. Sorry, a little bit of fun. A little bit of fun.
I
Uh,
love it.
boop. All right, bringing it up. Uh, Jumping into the stats, I think we got to start off with giving Grizz a shout because
Yeah, we
we
do.
we didn't hammer him in the way that it was constructive. It wasn't deconstructive criticism when he really wasn't putting out any damage at all. It was we were trying to be constructive, trying to figure it out. We got into the fighting style trends and talked about different things. And now look at him. He rules lawyers more than me most of the time. Uh, but it's just a complete like 180. Like he is, if you don't count Harshnag, he is the second highest damage
Hmm.
in the party.
Yeah, and I think him learning how to move with Frank is huge in that. That and him using his smites more often, and him not rolling as sucky as he was. He's actually rolling a little bit better.
Hmm. I mean, I can't blame that one on. I think that's random, so I
Yeah, I
don't. I
know.
don't think we can give him credit for that. But I think you're right. I think him using Frank and getting into battle, and then using the smites on top of that is a big boost. And then with that, I think you start to notice people doing more damage. I don't know,
Hmm.
but yeah, no, got to give
But
him props to start off the stats.
now that we got Grizz up the damage charts, now we got to work on Althea. Ashley,
I'll,
if you're listening, we're gonna start picking on you.
Oh, I like it. You know what? I still say we should get her a longbow. I think, she likes that distance. She likes that stealthiness.
Hmm.
We got to get her something that shoots farther because the longbow's what, like 380 feet or something, right? 300 feet maybe?
Something like that.
Yeah,
320 maybe,
it might be 320. Yeah,
or I might be thinking of a crossbow. Uh, a large crossbow might be that. I don't know. I have to. Maybe it is longbow. I can't remember. But yeah, one of them goes 320. It's like
yeah.
123.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was longbow, but nonetheless,
Yeah.
we give her that distance so she can keep the distance. Because I think the main reason she doesn't do as much damage at this point is because she's afraid to get in battle. And
Hmm.
and whether that's Althea's character or whether that's Ashley not wanting her to die, I'm not sure. No offense, Ashley. But nonetheless, I agree, and I think that if we get her a longer distance weapon that's maybe a little bit more um, consistent, that we'll see that damage output.
Yeah.
Because when
I
she's
keep
using that
I keep
bow,
wait
go ahead.
I keep waiting for Garrett to like throw something like comes up behind her one of these times.
As she's like trying to stealth behind a
Uh-huh.
rock in front of her and something's behind
Yeah.
her. No, I can see
She's
you.
like here, and she like looks over her shoulder, and there's Monster A.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, but yeah, no. I think giving her that consistent damage, as well as if she's using a bow, she can get that sneak attack damage,
Hmm.
right? So
Right.
she
Right.
can't get that on her spells, which we discovered, but she can get it on that, and then she'd just be able to, I think with Rogue, she can attack twice at this level.
No, I think only once.
Mm, okay.
I I think if she used offhand weapon, or if she had crossbow and not sharpshooter, it's like you're able to reload fast and use a you can use a bonus action
That might be what
for
I was
crossbow.
thinking. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that is what I was thinking. I can't remember what that feat is. Crossbow mastery or something like that. I
Something
think that,
like that. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's what I was thinking. So, I mean, that could also be something for her to think about because I think next level is feat level 10.
I think.
I think
Can't
so.
remember.
I think it's feat level. So it's something to think about that, if she's having a longbow for consistent damage with sneak attack and then adds in another attack, you're just, piling that up.
And she's a an elf, so she can definitely use a longbow.
Yeah, for sure. Reed
Yeah.
cannot, but I
Right.
think Reed wants to be melee somewhat. I don't know. I don't. I think he's still figuring it out. But
Hmm.
nonetheless, back to the stats. I want to show next. We did a crap ton of damage. We did 856 points of damage. If I look at that in comparison, so I just want to come back. I'm going to switch to all encounters real quick, and I'm going to look at the previous episode, which was the frost giants themselves. We did so against frost giants. We did 1284. Against we didn't have a single giant this battle. We didn't have a like those shambling mounts have a lot of HP, but
Yeah.
their damage output isn't anything crazy. So it's just a crazy amount of damage in my opinion.
Yeah.
856. Can't believe it. If we look at the being attacked by, it's a quarter of that. We were attacked for a quarter of the damage that we did.
Yeah. I mean, really, uh, Warwick, uh, Reed took the blunt of the damage. I know you got hit a couple times, and I know Griswold got hit a couple times, but nothing where a couple jumps through the healing spirit didn't wasn't able to solve that problem.
Exactly. Yeah. And I will throw out Harshy Poo. So even though Garrett was rolling poorly for his NPCs, the NPC that was on our side, he rolled pretty well for because it
You
did
know what though?
170 points of damage.
He did. There was a couple times that he actually rolled a couple criticals for us and against us. Uh, Luckily, Cobalt slings don't do that much damage. Uh,
Very true, very true. I think one of those crits was against Warwick for like 20 points of damage.
yeah, that was one of the bolts. Or no, that was a save. I can't remember. Yeah, something like that. Oh, they have electrical on the bolts.
Yeah.
That's right,
Yep.
on the sling bolts.
Yep. Because now Adrin has a little electric sling.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I gotta find out what that does. Um, I mean, he already has ranged weapons with spells, so I don't know if he might hold on to it just to have it, but
Uh,
we'll see.
yeah, we'll see. I think if you figure it out, you don't use the sling that often because of your staff does quite a bit, and then you use your versatility as well. So
Yeah,
maybe
I mean, like I
depends
said, plus
situation.
I use produce flame for ranged or frostbite for ranged, so
Yeah.
and those and um produce flame is 2d8 now, 2d8 I think, and then frostbite's 2d6 or something like that. So damage wise, it's a little bit better.
Yeah.
But we'll see what the abilities in the sling do. Maybe I'll outplay that.
For sure. If we also, Adrian was the only person who had healing this past session. 366 points of healing, all from Adrian.
Oh, from healing spirit.
Yeah. We talked about this before that like healing spirit felt OP in the beginning. It doesn't feel as OP now, but when you see the stat, it's just like, no, it's still
It
pretty crazy.
it's OP in the after the battle session
It's
is when it
definitely
becomes
because we
OP.
bounced through it quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's tough to like find that balance as well because
Hmm.
sometimes you may need something like that in the middle of combat, but it's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah.
Yeah. If we switch over to the damage overview, still pretty smooth curve here, but I did notice. Oh, this is just that one session.
Yeah, yeah.
Still pretty smooth curve. Amrook is still in the lead. Siddle still that his average damage is just so crazy because of one fireball doing 105 points of damage. It just blows my mind every time I see that. I don't know. His
I
average
mean,
damage is crazy.
even like when his fireball sucks, it's like 23 points of damage, and if he gets two creatures, That's 46. Even if it's half damage, it's 0.3 points of damage in a round.
Yeah, per creature. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Reed's average is high because of sneak attack, right? So like that average damage
Mhm.
per hit is also just as crazy, and
Mhm.
then his total damage done is nothing compared to Siddle. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
crazy curve. But I'll point out again, Grizzy Poo. Grizz has been climbing. He's above Adrin now.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's something. Adrin has that versatility. Adrin's like a very well balanced character. Almost feels like hybrid, who will never be
Yeah. Yeah.
max damage and will
Yep.
never be the healing of a cleric, but is a necessary piece of the puzzle, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Adrin's
Yeah.
the corner piece of the puzzle. If I could give another analogy, I've been working on my analogies. Adrin is the
Corner
corner
piece.
piece of the puzzle. And it's a round puzzle, so you figure it out.
Oh God.
I am a little sad. Frost Giants still being the largest damage. Like this funnel
That's
chart,
crazy.
I don't know if you're watching it. Like it's like
Yeah.
nothing comes
It's crazy.
close. Nothing will
Yeah. It's
come close for
crazy.
quite a while. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. Like I guess maybe if we go fight the Stone Giants, they might. But I feel like Fire Giants, we've beat the crap out of them. Look at them, and they're
Mhm.
nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bugbear,
Plus,
fire
fought
giants
a
aren't even
we fought
above the bugbear.
we fought a lot of the frost giants though.
Yeah, close to 20.
Yeah. We've only killed one, two,
Well, we killed 3 there. We killed
four,
2 in the other town.
five,
We're
two
probably
fire
about 8
giants
fire giants. 8
for
fire
fire
giants,
giants.
I think.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Go to what page
Killed
is that?
creatures.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, fire giant. Does it give a total on the right hand side? Maybe. Did you total it?
Yeah. It
I'm
should be
only
on
seeing
there.
a total of 2.
Really?
That won't account for the 2 in Tribor because
Uh,
that was before we
Tribor.
started
Yeah.
taking stats.
Yeah. 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 That's right.
And I feel like there might have been in one of the subsequent battles after Tribor, we may have taken 1 out. Maybe we didn't.
One.
Maybe it is only 4.
Yeah. Because remember, we let the ones get away because we were trying to follow them.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking up on our way to Xantharl's Keep. On the way back, we got
That's
into
where we fought.
a battle with fire giants as well.
But I think there's only just one.
I was thinking there was 2 there as well.
That might be where these two are coming from then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah,
Well,
we probably only fought four
yeah.
or
So
killed four, I should say.
that's why
Oh wait,
fire
no,
giants aren't on there too much.
no. On the way down from Port last or from
Yeah,
Luskin, we ran into
okay.
fire
That
giants
was
too.
the 3 that I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's 3. I'm not sure where that is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Gotta
sure
look
there
at
was
that.
3. There was at least 2 there. I know that much.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that's this 2. I think the Xantharl's Keep and over there by Nullbone, I think we fought 2
Hmm.
more, and then the 2 in the city. So that's 6. I was thinking there was 3 in that final one, which puts it at 7. So I'm thinking 7 total. I don't think we got the Xantharl's Keep
There's
or Tribor.
there were two in the Cittle by Committee episode.
Okay,
That was the one
that
that was on
was
the
yeah.
way from. Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
our first encounter with the fire snakes.
Yes.
So that means we don't have the Xantharl's Keep, the one on the way back from towards Silvery Moon, actually.
That would. Yeah, that would be right. That's how far back we. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
must have went from Tribor up there to Nullbone, and then came all the way back down to Moog
Hmm.
and the windmill and stuff. And then at Grudhog,
Yeah,
that's when we started keeping track of stats.
that's yeah, yeah.
Man, that's pretty crazy to think about that process.
I know, right?
Oh, shoot. All right, going back to damage overview, I just want to point out for Rusty's sake, if we look at the fireball still doing 30% of all encounters that we've kept track of, 30% of all the damage. I think fireball is
Not all the
crazy.
damage. Not all the damage.
All the
Just
spell
all the
damage. Yeah.
spell damage, spell and ability damage. Yeah,
Right. Spell and ability damage, 30% of it. That's
yeah,
crazy to me.
yeah.
I don't know. And I'm looking at it now. I'm looking at that funnel chart if you have it on. The
Hmm.
funnel chart, like on the Frost Giants, is pretty crazy with the fireball as well.
Yeah,
You get a fireball.
yeah.
You get a
You
fireball.
get
Got Oprah Siddle over here.
it.
Uh, if we look at overall healing, I think that one's selected. Yep. Still pretty cool funnel chart. I like to look at it since we just talked about Healing Spirit. Healing Spirit has done 1,516 points of healing since we've kept track of it. I mean, granted, that's probably only a couple hundred more, 300 more or so, because we didn't have much HP in the beginning, right? So it could only
Hmm.
heal us so much.
Yeah,
But still, crazy stat. I
yeah.
find that one very interesting to look at. All right. Anything you noticed? I noticed our buffs. Other than Keegan's really been giving us our buffs at this point. We don't get
Hmm.
buffs from many places, but his portent flanking, of course, the bardic inspiration, those are pretty consistent. The portents and the bardic inspiration.
You have the pick the. You have a episode selected, I think.
Oh yeah, I do. I do. I wanted to look at this past one and then all of them. Yeah, so we didn't get any here. I'm pretty sure he gave out bardic inspiration, but we
Hmm.
didn't
Yeah,
use it at this point.
I don't
And
think
then
anybody used it yet.
yeah, if we look at flankings top, portent is second there. So it's created 7 hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. I still say Bless is very underrated. I do say after playing a cleric, I understand Evan's point about how it's hard to do that because then you get into battle and you lose it. So
Hmm.
as a paladin,
Yeah.
that is hard. But that's just one of the things we lose by not having a cleric because
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned. The deeper we go in, the more I feel, this party we were somewhat well balanced. We've talked about this before that the other party is very damage heavy. Uh,
Hmm.
this one was a well balanced team. We had a lot of things, but I think our one Achilles heel is going to be the later on healing needed. We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. You never know. Like Amruk could go out, and I could play a cleric next.
I mean, okay.
It'd be. I mean, I'm playing Barry, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe Barry just comes over, right?
I mean, could I guess.
No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you guys. All right. Anything you notice about the stats?
Hmm. Nothing that was really. I think that you didn't bring up.
I wanted to look at one more thing because we talk about uh, Griswold's hit or dodge percentage,
Hmm.
on this little stuff, and you can see. I'm just looking at it again. If I select this last episode, it's back up there. It's huge
Yeah.
again, right? So
Yeah.
it's that little stuff. I'm telling you, there's a for giants, it's like 16 or 17. Anything over that, diminishing returns. But
Yeah. Yeah.
then with like all other creatures, then that's when you need it.
Yeah. 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 When you start fighting these things that have like not just giants, but like anything,
Right. Plus
plus
9 to hit.
12 to hit. Yeah. It's doesn't matter
Exactly. Unless they roll in
whether.
that one, they're gonna hit you.
Yeah. Whether you have an AC of 20 or 21, probably not gonna matter.
Right. And I think there's probably some mathematical way of calculating that because,
Hmm.
each number's 5% chance. So,
Yeah.
if it's a plus 12, then, here's where it lies, here's where you're diminishing. So if I were a smarter man, I could figure this out. But someone out there in the yeah, so, someone out there has figured this out.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
Yeah. But that's all I got. Unless you have anything to wrap us up, I think we'll go ahead and call the episode there.
No,
Thank
no.
you for joining. I think it was a good
Yeah, it was
session. I look forward
too
to
bad.
Sunday.
Too bad Rusty and Garrett couldn't show up, but it happens.
We'll get him back. Rusty decided, he's too good for us for right now. They always come back, don't you worry.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for
I'm
watching, and we'll see you Sunday.